and this is how we get down. What's good, everybody? Welcome into Coach and Company, where on Thursdays we dominate not one, but 2 straight hours on Stadium and Bally Sports Live. We'll be here all the way until noon Eastern time, but we chop it up between Coach and Company right now and, of course, the Coach and Bro Show, one of the fastest-growing shows in all of pro wrestling. Now, my numbers guy, Raphael, always leading by example, and this is how razor thin the baseball playoffs have been so far. The Tigers and the Red Sox both lose by a single run yesterday. That's how easy things can flip. So you got to be very, very careful when you're betting the playoffs. Now, we had a premium live stream last night. We never know when we're going to pop up on any random night, but we want you to become a premium member. You can do it right here and right now. And I promise you, last night we had 2 or 3 live. It pays for itself in one night. So become a premium member and also rep the brand. And when you get a piece of our merch, send us a picture, and we want to throw you right up on the show. All right. Busy. Hey, ladies. Day at the brand. Coming up, we got 3 deciding games in baseball. Can't get any better than that. Then also, little no filter as we get set for week 5. Phil McKagan stops by to educate us on Thursday Night Football, and we break down a little bit more into the 49ers and the Seahawks tonight. But we've got to have a bounce-back day. 2-5 is simply not good enough. So I know my boys, they're waiting at the door. They're ready to come in. I told you, it's time to beat the books. All right, I've got my absolute A-team here today. Look at this. Are you kidding me? An absolute embarrassment of riches. First and foremost, live from Memphis, Tennessee, he is the host of Weekday Wagers, unless it was yesterday when I tuned in. And DG, I know more about Mark's hair now than I ever thought I would want to know. Good morning.
Morning, Coach. Morning, guys. Yeah, we got a complete synopsis on Mark's hair and his hair growth since COVID yesterday, but it was interesting to say the least.
Yeah, that'd be one word that I would use for it. Next, let's go right downstairs. He's the man that goes by one name and one name only. Good morning, Zeno.
Morning, Coach. Morning, Company. I'm ready for Aaron Boone to suck and break my heart this evening.
He won't be kissing to the crowd tonight. Who knows? Deciding game 3, Red Sox, Yankees. Oh, we'll break it down. It's going to be. Oh, I know where you're going to be tonight around, what is that, 8:08 p.m., I believe is the start time. Don't tell me you don't have a little bit of butterflies going this morning. Just a little bit.
I have a variety of things ready at my disposal to throw against the wall.
Please set up a GoPro or your iPhone. I don't care. I want video. All right, next, upper right. He's the youngest member of our team, but, man, we sure do value him. From Dallas, Fort Worth, on the campus of TCU, young Peyton. Good morning, sir.
Morning, guys. Real quick, first, Terry Francona, the Dodgers gifted you 2 runs in the first inning. The bad news, you started Zach Littell with your season on the line, who had no business starting an elimination game. Then you proceed to watch him get rocked, giving up 6 hits. How do you let him allow 3 or 4 hits? And real quick, while we're at it, Craig Counsell, you have an opener for Shota Imanaga, something you have not done all year. Let's start Andrew Kittredge for an inning and then bring in Shota. What is going on? Is this the postseason or spring training? I don't know what's happening here.
Wow, apparently it's Rant Thursday for young Peyton today. Rant Thursday. Now, this man is the brains and the brawn behind BetMGM tonight, and we're so glad to have him on our team. Brandon, good morning, sir.
Good morning, Coach. Good morning, guys. Look, Zen, I'm just like you, Zeno. I'm ready to get my heart broken today with my Cubbies. Just like Peyton said, started an opener yesterday and Shota Imanaga, and then you still allow him to face the 2 guys that you didn't want him to face in the first inning, in the 5th inning. I don't know what Craig Counsell's doing. I give up.
Oh, my God. That's why live streams are the best. Last night, Mikey P., Red Sox fan, was literally living and dying by every pitch on the lives. It's awesome. That's why we love playoff baseball. All right, gentlemen, I'm staring at 4 faces. Oh, no, wait. One of you was responsible for yesterday. So, Brandon, I'm not even going to go to DG today. I want somebody who's like a rabid dog, who's backed into a corner, who went 0 for yesterday, who wants to make it right today. Are you that person?
I'm always that person, Coach.
Then start us off. Best bets, go.
All right, we're going to start off with same game parlay. We're going to go Padres money line and the over 7.5 today at Wrigley. Wind is going to be slightly blowing in from left to right, but it is a lot warmer today here in Chicago. That ball is going to carry at Wrigley. That's plus 250. Then we're going to go Yankees money line. Same reason I'm going with the Padres, just better lineup. And then another same game parlay. Under 45.5 today in the 49ers. With all of their injuries going up against that Los Angeles Rams team. And then the 49ers plus 8.5. I know with all the injuries that I just talked about, but both teams are going to look to establish the run tonight. And Thursday Night Football, 9 times out of 10 produces an under.
I got to tell you, over there at the BetMGM site, they've made SGPs something you can do on almost everything. It's crazy. They have the SGP. Is that something really that they're leaning into there at that particular book?
They are. There are some things that you can't do on an SGP. It is sort of limited when you get to some of the SGPs there. There are some other sites that you can find a little bit of a better SGP, but they are starting to get there. They're starting to roll out more as they go. BetMGM's really starting to get that stuff rolling.
All right. Very, very good. Good start. Now, I never tell my guys what to play. You always come here. I always have my paper, my pen. I take my information, and I make the choice for myself. So, young Peyton, with that being said, you severely disagree with Brandon on the Thursday Night Football play. So, what do you like today?
I do. Severely, yes, definitely. Although there is some synergy in the first play, because I do have the Padres on the money line in my 2-leg parlay. Padres money line and Yu Darvish over 3.5 strikeouts. This is about plus 240, 250. Great price here. Plenty of playoff experience under Yu Darvish's belt. Cubs hitting just 194 against him, and I had to take the over 3.5 strikeouts after I came across this stat. Yu Darvish has started 32 games at Wrigley Field as a Ranger, Dodger, Cub, and now Padre. He has never had less than 4 strikeouts in a game at Wrigley Field. And yes, the Rams minus 8.5. I'm taking them to cover. The 49ers have failed to cover the spread in 13 of their last 14 games against teams with winning records. The Rams are 3-1, which is indeed what we call a winning record, Sloopy, if you're watching. And no Juan Jennings, no Ricky Pearsall, and Mac Jones is starting. Come on, Rams win this game by double digits.
I cannot believe that Yu Darvish stat that you found. 32 starts, and all of them he had at least 4 strikeouts.
Yep.
It's great stuff right there. Hashtag it pays to watch live. All right, Mr. Zeno. Mr. I'm living and dying by his Yankees tonight. What do you got for us this morning?
I'm just doing the classic emotional hedge. I mean,
we love the emotional hedge.
It's a half run. I mean, this is the only way I can play this thing, because I'm prepared for the Yankees to be down early and the Red Sox to be leading in the 5th inning, only to turn it over to the Yankees and watch Aaron Boone blow it late. I mean, look, from a numbers perspective and a value perspective here, in a game where I think that we are going to get an under, taking the half run in the first 5 probably is the best way to go about it. You have to leave the Yankees bullpen out of it, because that thing is absolutely disgusting. And so there's absolutely no faith there. But giving a half run to the Red Sox here against a Yankees team that doesn't generally score unless they hit a home run feels like a favorable spot here. Neither one of these starters in Early or in Schlittler has any experience against the other team, because they're both young guys. So I'm just playing a value play here with the Red Sox on a half run in the first 5. And then we'll go to the Thursday Night Football game. Kyron Williams, over 66.5 rushing yards here. He's gotten over 66 in all 4 games, going over 67 in the last 2, but you're also looking at a Niners defense that's now 16th in the NFL in rush EPA per play allowed on defense here. The Niners have allowed the top running back to go over this number in 2 of their last 3 games. Kyron Williams will get the requisite carry share to go over here in a game that probably stays under tonight and will be filled with a lot of running the football.
My only question coming out of your 2 plays is, how much will your head pop off when tonight happens what happened last night, when the announcers say, when he left Carlos Rondon in, when he took Max Fried out, they said this was the visit that they should have had last night.
You think?
Zing.
Watching him just mismanage that bullpen is an exercise in futility.
It's unbelievable. It really is.
It's bad.
And Aaron Boone's my guy. Loved him. Love you, Aaron. He watches every day, by the way.
He hasn't been my guy since 03.
I loved him. I worked with him, though. I loved him. Him and Alex Core at the same time. It was amazing. All right, one more to go. DG, big boy, give it to me.
Let's give you a little kicker prop here. We're going to go Eddie Pinheiro going over 1.5 field goals. It's at -110. Pinheiro has cashed this in the 3 games that he's played since taking over for Jake Moody, who sucked in week 1. But he did get 3 attempts, going 1 of 3. San Francisco is attempting 2.5 field goals per game on the season. The other side, the Rams, they've allowed the other kicker to cash in 3 of 4. The only one that didn't was the Eagles, who do not kick field goals. They only go for it on 4th down. So Pinheiro to go for 2 field goals tonight at -110. And let's go over to the tight end, Jake Tonjes, over 26.5 receiving yards. It's at -110. This guy, who else is he going to throw to in Mac Jones? And so I think that it's going to be a game that plays out into a game script that you play underneath. Who knows who we have running routes? Because of that, I like Jake Tonjes coming off of a 58-yard week last week.
I loved your little thing under your name. Oh, my. No Pearsall. No Purdy. That was very, very good. All right. Look who just showed up. I now know what shampoo he uses. I know everything about Mark and his life. Mark, what is our JTS play of the day? Good morning.
Good morning, Coach. Yeah, we're going to go with the little Thursday night football same game parlay. We're going to go with Mac Jones to go. These are both alt lines, by the way. We're going to take him to go over 190 passing yards. He's done this in 4 of his last 5 road games, and he's gone over in both games that he's played in this season, where he's averaging just over 281 yards a game there. We're going to pair that with Kyron Williams to get over 70 rushing and receiving yards. He's done this in 14 of his last 15 home games, and against San Francisco, he absolutely feasts. He's done the averaging 109. Put them both together, you get a +106. Just a Stat Sports play of the day.
All right, and there is the QR code. If you want to become a member, use our code NFL100, and we'll give you the first month for $1 over there at JTS. Now, there are small victories, guys, that we have here at the brand, and driving Raphael up a wall, that is certainly one of them. I just got a text message, and I will read it verbatim. Listening quietly in the cardiologist's office, and what do I see? 2 SGPs and a lettuce parlay. I'm not passing any of my tests today. Oh, you guys are driving him bananas today with the SGPs.
Is that a Raphael haiku?
It might be. I don't even think he meant to rhyme. It just kind of rolled off the tongue that way. But oh my, picturing him watching you idiots give out SGPs is everything to me. I can end the show right now, and I'm good for the day. Oh my God, it's so great. All right, gentlemen, well done. We're going to have a bounce back day today. I just feel it. Now, coming up on the other side, rarely in the past do we get this many deciding wild card games, but we do today. 3 big games to break down. Where are we headed? What are some best bets that maybe you want to look at that we didn't give out just now? Also, at the bottom of the hour, no filter. Phil McKagan, former NFL coach, current UFL coach, stops by to break down from a coaching perspective Thursday Night Football, and then we take a look at the 49ers and the Rams. Will it be a get in and get out type of night for the Rams if they get a big lead? All of that still to come, and Coach and Bro for our second hour. This is Coach and Company on Stadium and also on Valley Sports Live. All right, we continue on here during the break on our YouTube page, and things have really come, DG, down to a head when we're talking about Shadir Sanders, and apparently we are answering questions as a mime on Wednesdays. What do we make of what is going on in Cleveland?
This is a young, stupid kid. And you would think like this kid knows nothing about the spotlight. His dad isn't famous. Like, I don't get it. Like, get out of your own way. Quit being a complete dummy.
It feels that way, Zeno, does it not?
Everything you do as a quarterback in this league is a job interview to keep your job or get a job, and you just failed it miserably. That's ultimately what this boils down to. This was childish. It was immature. It proves he's not ready. It validated the fact this is why he fell to the 5th round, because he cannot handle moments like this. Quarterback is a cerebral position. It requires you to think and use your head and make good decisions all the time. He showed that he's not ready to do any of that.
Just like right here on Coaching Company, we do the same things, Peyton.
Just seems like he's becoming this whole Browns team is becoming a meme instead of a mime. It's ridiculous. Everything's a joke for these guys. And when you're a new quarterback trying to maybe change the narrative, start something new to continue this kind of trend for the Cleveland Browns is not a good look.
Brandon, what are we doing?
Look, I don't know why people still expect Shedeur Sanders to be anything other than what he was yesterday. I just don't understand what people are thinking with Shedeur Sanders. I don't know why they keep expecting him to do the things that he hasn't done ever since he created his own booth in the draft lobby for himself to take photos to wait until the 5th round to be drafted.
Yeah, he did do that. He did do that. Yeah. I don't know. I mean, when you drive a $300,000 car in college, maybe you're a little bit out there, because that's exactly what he also did. One of the more annoying, incessant videos I've ever watched in my life. And now he's getting his. All right, gentlemen, it's time to talk baseball. Baseball and you guys remember that show? Baseball and the Tribe. Baseball Bunch, Saturday mornings. Too young for you, Peyton. We're back in 5 seconds. All right, welcome back, everybody. Coach and Company here on Stadium and Bally Sports Live. Thank you so much for hanging out with us live on a Thursday morning. Don't forget Coach and Bro coming up with me and Vince Russo at the top of the hour, so keep it right here. Don't have to change anything. Now, gentlemen, it's time to break down 3. Yes, count them, 3 baseball games today. Deciders in the wild card. I think it's going to be an amazing day. So, Zeno, I want to start with you because game number 1, and they've had the early game all 3 days in a row. Tigers, Guardians, it's been razor thin. Guardians had the momentum, a late 5 spot yesterday to keep them in it. Today, it's flat out even money. Zeno, start us off.
Still take the Guardians. They're the better team here, believe it or not. I still think the Tigers are broken. And guess what? If you don't get nearly 8 innings out of Tariq Skubal in game 1, I believe the Guardians actually win that game as well. I mean, that's really what the difference was, is you had ace level stuff coming from a guy who obviously is the best pitcher in the game. And so the Guardians will overwhelm here eventually. I know their bats are very questionable at times, and you sort of just have to sweat through a lot of uninspiring innings in order for them to get out there and actually do something. But the Guardians take this one.
And rarely, DG, do we talk about home field being an advantage or, it's important to be the higher wild card team. But I really feel like in this instance, it's an advantage.
It's a big advantage being at home in front of your crowd, but the other big advantage is having the starting pitchers. There's a difference of paychecks of $19,235,000, and that's not going in favor of the Guardians. With Slay Sassoni, who's not making much, we have a $20 million guy who's not even favored in the playoffs as your starter. It doesn't make sense. Jack Flaherty can step up. I think Jack Flaherty actually steps up for the Tigers today and earns his paycheck and shuts down the Guardians.
That's how close it is. You got opinions on both sides of the fence. Young Peyton, let me come over to you.
Yeah, I mean, we might not even needed a game 3 if the Guardians would have figured out how to score a man from third base with nobody out in the last inning. Unbelievable how they didn't score him. But, I mean, does this game, win or go home, not have Cleveland magic, like, written all over it? Yeah, Cleveland's putting their season in the hands of Slade Saccone, which probably isn't the greatest idea. But in front of the home crowd, they have to win. I got to take them to win today at home.
Probably not the best idea. Brandon, although the magic has been very, very, very real. I wouldn't touch any props in this game. But to me, the only thing you can do is money line one way or the other, because that that over 7 screams yuck to me.
Yeah, I'm not touching the over at all. I would probably bet the Guardians in this game too. Look, I think Detroit lost this game in September when they had a 99.9% chance on September 1st to win the division.
God.
And they did not win the division. And now the Cleveland Guardians are going to get the last at bat. And I believe that that's what this game is going to come down to. So I think the Guardians get it done.
Man, it looked like such a promising year for Detroit in July. All right, game number 2 today. And this one has been exciting if you like great pitching and you like one big hit a game, because that's what we've had through the first 2 games where both teams scored 3 runs to win their respective games. So, Zeno, let me come over to you. The Cubs are a very, very, very slight favorite today at minus 115. They also are a franchise that needs to get back with some good vibes in the playoffs. What do you see today in this decider?
I lean Cubs, but in game 1, I bet the over and it didn't hit. In game 2, I came back and bet the over and didn't hit. Well, damn it. Game 3, I'm betting the over again, and it's going to freaking hit. Why? Because Yu Darvish's ERA on the road is 7.2. And Jameson Taillon is good for a bomb or two. Like, I'm waiting for both of these teams to score at the same time, and I think it happens today between these two. I lean Cubs definitively when it comes down to it, but I don't know how much longer both of these teams can like not score at the rate that they have during the regular season, particularly the Padres on the road who score a ton and the Cubs at home who score a ton.
God, I love that analysis because that's exactly how I felt. That's exactly what I did. I followed you exactly what you just said. So, DG, do you see the bats finally waking up today at Wrigley?
I do, and I think Yu Darvish, like you look at his innings pitch line, like it's not much. They're not expecting many outs out of him, so 3 or 4 innings out of Yu Darvish. I think this Cubs team is on the cusp of really becoming a true contender for the championship this season, and I'm going to be a little biased. I went to Cubby Land this year. Those fans are freaks, man, and I love everything about it. They're going to go crazy today. I think they will their team to a win.
Yeah, we've heard all about that trip to Wrigley. Hey, Brandon, do you know how many people approached DG when they recognized him at Wrigley for that particular trip?
How many?
0! Not a damn one did they do that. Young Peyton, let me come over to you. Your thoughts today on Cubbyland?
Yeah, I like the Padres today. I'm just looking at the pitching matchup. They're hitting over 270 as a team against Jameson Taillon. Yu Darvish, on the other hand, great numbers against Cubs hitters. Also, pretty hilarious yesterday and Tuesday to see Cubs fans absolutely stunned by Mason Miller's fastball. They're sitting there like, who is this guy? They haven't stayed up late enough to watch him while he was doing that for years in Sacramento. They shorten these games better than anyone else. Give me the Padres after a quality start from Yu Darvish.
All right, I knew Peyton was going to say that, which is why I saved Brandon for last. Our resident Cubs fan, just like my man Raphael. Brandon, defend yourself.
Well, Zeno started this off by saying, I don't know how these 2 teams can keep not scoring, especially the Cubs at home who score a ton. Well, let me tell you, Zeno, how this Cubs team continues to not score a ton because you continue to put Ian Happ in the 3-hole, who's batting like 0.42 in his last 3 weeks. You continue to bat Dansby Swanson after the 7th inning instead of taking him out for an offensive replacement, not a defensive replacement, because Glove is great. But the guy can't hit. He's the least clutch player I've ever seen in my entire life. Look, Jameson Taillon gives up bombs, and Yu Darvish gives up bombs. This is going to be a high-scoring game. I do agree with the overplay. I just feel like the Padres right now have the more consistent lineup.
All right. So we got Brandon and Zeno on one side, DG kind of in the middle, and then Peyton. Now, here's the game everybody's talking about. The other 2 games, that's just kind of an appetizer. This is the rivalry. This is, and I don't care when I get it. I just care that I get it. Zeno, you and Big Tommy C, I would love to have cameras right on your faces tonight for 3 hours. Here's the numbers. The Yankees, a heavy favorite at minus 160. Does that make you feel any better, Zeno?
I mean, the numbers are consistent. I mean, Max Fried was minus 180. The next 2 guys, Rodon and Schlittler, are both minus 160. So the price doesn't scare me off it as far as, being something that raises a red flag here. Look, honestly, it's hard to figure out how this is going to go against a pitcher that they have no track record against. if he's a starter in what's his name, Quentin Early, something early, late, early. But anyway, the point is, like, if he's leaving fastballs in the middle, the Yankees torture mediocre pitching. They do.
Yes.
That's the reality of it. I don't know anything about this guy who's making his 5th ever start. In fact, I think he's the 4th person ever to make a playoff start within his first 5 starts of his career.
Crazy.
So, I mean, it's a true, X factor in the variance that it brings in. I don't know the answer to. All I could do is look at the Yankees lineup and go, how do they perform? And if they don't hit home runs, they don't score. And, that's really what it boils down to for me. So hence why I took the Red Sox first 5, at least a little emotional hedge that, well, I'm throwing things because they're losing early. At least I have some money in my pocket. I mean, there's that. So whatever I can pay for.
Yeah, that makes a lot of sense. I mean, yesterday, the total, by the way, was the exact same number it is today, 7.5. So watching that lose last night was a little brutal. But, yeah. DG, let me come up to you. There's a lot of ways, and the way Zeno laid it out, it has to be very specific, but that's kind of the way these games have been going.
Yeah, these games are going just as the starting pitchers. We have early Schittler today, and that's what we're looking at without this entire series. And I think because of that, I'm going with the Red Sox on the money line. I think that they're going to win this game. They're a team of destiny this year since trading away their best player to the Giants. They've only gotten better. I think they take down the Yankees team, which is going to be a bullpen game. Red Sox have a better bullpen.
Yeah, I wonder what Rafael Devers is doing right now in the Caribbean as he is not playing in the postseason. Young Peyton, my young friend, where do you see this game tonight?
He's probably enjoying it, honestly. But first, thank goodness the Yankees scored late in the game last night so we get a game 3 because we all wanted this game to go, or the series to go 3 games. But look at today's pitching matchup. Yankees Sox, win or go home. Did we really think it would entail Cam Schlittler against Cannelli early? And it's Cannelli early. It was in the New York Times this morning, if you still read it. But neither team has really
New York Times. You don't read the New York Times. Stop it.
News, man.
You were not reading the New York Times. Oh, my goodness. You kill me. All right, Brandon, bring us home on this game tonight because I can see I already had a vision, and the vision is more Yankee fans cutting videos on the train ride home saying we wasted another year. Aaron Judge can't hit home runs in the postseason. All the same things they've been saying for the last few years in the playoffs, including last year at the end of the World Series. Is it another Yankees disappointment?
Yeah, look, I'm staying away from this game money-wise because I'm just going to enjoy the pure cinema of the moment. I can't wait to watch my guy, Sean Marash, who is a huge Yankees fan and a huge voice over there in New York. I produced his show over at BetMGM Network. He's been a good friend of mine, but he destroys stuff. And I love watching his videos after the Yankees lose and the way he crashes out. That's what I live for. And even if the Yankees win, I get to watch Red Sox fans crash out and how they should fire everybody. So either way, as a fan of the game and as a fan of the sport and as a fan of sports radio, I'm going to love this either way. So I'm going to stay away from it money-wise.
I'm a fan.
You ain't fitting it for nothing. Although, Zeno, can you imagine Francesa or some of these guys that LaGreca? Can you imagine Don LaGreca on the fan tomorrow if the Yankees lose? Oh my gosh.
Screaming his head off.
Yeah, that's what he does. He just screams. And I laugh. And he screams. And I laugh. But his partner is the voice of the Yankees. So he has to deal with Michael Kay on the daily and Peter Rosenberg. All right, gentlemen, well done. 3 big games today. The first game, by the way, at 12:08 p.m. Eastern. Game 2 at 5:08 p.m. Eastern. Game 3, prime time, 8:08 p.m. Eastern time. All right, coming up on the other side, he is ready. He is waiting. He is fired up, looking like $1 million. It's time to have a little no filter as Phil McKagan stops by to talk everything Thursday Night Football. Then the guys come back and we break down the game a little bit further. This is Coach and Company, only halfway home, Stadium, Valley Sports Live. All right, boys, we continue on here on our YouTube page. I'll start with you, DG, and just go around the horn because I got to run real quick and do something for 2 seconds. DG, A.J. Brown, I said it last week that if he didn't get the ball, things were going to happen. And they did. 2 catches, 7 yards. He made a post. He said, oh, this post has nothing to do with the Eagles and my quarterback. Is he lying to all of us?
He's not lying. What he's talking about, and he tried to explain himself more in detail yesterday, was all about like how the game would play out. And the game plays out with, if you put a target on him early, it opens the game up for other people. I think A.J. Brown is a phenomenal receiver. We just look at a Jalen Hurts, who isn't a good quarterback throwing wise. So because of that, yeah, it's going to be a struggle. But I do think that he was speaking truth when you need to go to him early.
I think all these social media posts have to do with something on the football field, but that's just me. If Philadelphia is going to figure out how to get the ball to A.J. Brown at some point in time, I think it'll happen very soon.
Zeno.
Squeaky wheel always gets the grease. If you have A.J. Brown in fantasy, or go look for his prop and play it, because I've never met a wide receiver who didn't bitch, whine, and complain and then not get the ball the next week. Because you know what he does after that? He bitch, whines, and complains even more.
That's who he is. That's who he is. Now, Greg Olsen, Brandon said, throw him the ball, make it simple. Second half of the Rams, they did that. He had over 100 yards and 6 catches. Last week, nothing at all, and they still scored 31. So what gives?
There are 2 players in the NFL that I can't wait to see them play on another team this year. One is Alvin Kamara, because I think his fantasy stock is going to go through the roof, and the Saints are definitely going to trade him by the trade deadline. The other one, I think, is A.J. Brown. I think he moves. I think he goes somewhere else, and I think that's when he starts getting the ball. I don't think the Eagles start giving him the ball this season. I really don't. I think there's something there between him and between Jalen Hurts. Anytime that you watch the ball go towards A.J. Brown, especially in the end zone, it always seems to be overthrown. It always seems to be the one time where Jalen Hurts throws the ball just out of bounds, or where you just have to make a crazy catch if you're going to get the ball. There's something there. There's something personal between those two.
I think so, too. We're back live in 5 seconds. All right, welcome back, everybody. Coach and Company. We're halfway home. If you're watching us live, thank you so very much. 10:32 in the East, 7:32 out here in the West. About 50 miles from where the Dodgers closed out the Reds last night, and also about 42 miles from where tonight the Rams will host the 49ers. We'll get into that game with the guys here in a few minutes. But we have the luxury here at the brand of having access to a man who coached for many years in the NFL, the Dolphins, the Bills, the Chargers, many years in college, South Florida, a lot, Eastern Carolina, the Colorado. But now he's the offensive coordinator for the St. Louis squad in the UFL, one of the brilliant minds. So I'll always love to go to him to break it down from a different perspective. It's time for a little no filter. All right, Phil McKagan today looking like $1 million fresh as a tack. I love it. All right, we got to get right into it because Matthew Stafford coming off of 375 yards, 3 touchdowns in the air, including that incredible game winner, 90 yards or whatever it was against the Colts. So what in this kill system makes Matthew Stafford so good?
Yeah, I love that question. You know, it really shows what Matthew's freedom at the line of scrimmage and also the sophistication and intellect of Sean McVay. So let's go to a clip from last week's game, just a still shot. It's a 3rd and 2 clip. They're playing against a Lou Anarumo defense with the Colts. So here I've circled the middle safety player. So in this particular play, he's looking to see who's in the middle of the field. Obviously, we know it's middle safety, 3rd and 2. If it was 2 safety, he'd go kill, 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 and then hand the ball off on an inside run, a direct run, whether it's duo, which is power no puller, or inside zone, and get the first down that way. They threw the ball at the bottom of the screen for the first down. That's what happened. Now, let's go to a little bit more sophisticated one later in the game, 3rd and 10. Now, looking at this clip, okay, and the still, I've circled these are the safeties here as well, so you can see a little bit of distribution, but a real key indicator is aligning an empty and putting the back outside on the bottom of the screen. That is a cornerback on him. And then there's Devontae Adams, their money man, with nobody directly over the top of him, so you know it's going to be zone. Now, go to the next clip of this. They shift the back into the backfield because they know it's zone. And then at that point, you'll see on the very next clip, when the safety starts to move in a distribution that's a little bit more towards the line of scrimmage. But that arrow I'm showing you between that first off the ball linebacker and that safety tells Matthew that that is going to be zone, in particular cover 2. Now take a look at the next one as Matthew's processing this information. And then you can see at this particular point on the post-snap read, here go both the safeties and the middle linebacker blowing out into cover 2 zone. So this would be a kill, kill, kill off the shift tell to the zone play.
Let that wash over you for a second. Do you want to do the work? I didn't think so. Now, you mentioned 2 names right there. Devontae Adams, legend. Puka Nacua, becoming a legend. Who's the real number 1 name at wideout in LA?
I'm glad that you mentioned it just like that. For me, they're 1A and 1A, and it's really about their differentiated skill set. So Devontae's smooth route runner, one of the best, a Hall of Fame player, and then you get an emerging talent. So at this particular point, what McVay's doing is placing them in the particular order of the progression, what suits their needs and what coverage specificities they're going to get throughout the game. So I would venture to guess 60% of the reads, Devontae will be number 1 in the progression. Another 40% of the reads, Puka will be in the progression. And don't discount the fact that Eric Yarber, their coach, understands how to coach and teach the team game of football, so they'll be just fine.
All right, well, let's flip it over to the other side, because with so many injuries, and one of them not being Christian McCaffrey, his workload has been immense through the first 4 games. Is this sustainable?
He's done it like this, coach, for three seasons, 2019 being the most productive. For me, he's LaDainian Tomlinson of this generation, really good out of the backfield. So you're going to try to throw him the ball, whether it's screens, whether it's draws, delays, different things like that. You want to find a way to get him the ball, even checkdowns, in addition to his carries. So they're going to utilize him. It's going to be something that he has to manage because they're not going to be able to sustain this type of 3-1 record if they don't utilize Christian the way that they need to.
That's going to be my last question. You're leading me right to it, is how do the 49ers continue to win games if they have a different quarterback every week and all of these things are always changing?
Yeah, that's the beauty of the Mike Shanahan, Kyle Shanahan, and Sean McVay type system is it starts with the run game. So if you can establish the run, you possess the ball, you shorten the game. Obviously, McCaffrey and his dynamism is going to be critical. Coming down and getting Kittle healthy and involving the tight end in the play action pass is going to be number 2. And the number 3 thing, in my opinion, and not to be underestimated, is Fred Warner. I would take him as the linebacker to start a team with. He's a linebacker who's got great leadership, run and hit capabilities. He has enough finishing speed to pick a ball off and score. A great leader, tremendously tough. So that defense is playing really good, and special teams will continue to play well, and they'll be competitive every week.
Absolutely love it. You can see him every Oh, no. Oh, no. Oh, Zeno's going to be hot. Zeno's going to be hot. I forgot, my man. Where did you go to school at?
I went to University of Maine. I'm from Springfield, Massachusetts, the birthplace of basketball. Can still fill it up at the age of 46.
We had a good time a couple times in Springfield, didn't we?
We did.
We did have a couple good times. All right, you're the best. No filter here every single Thursday to break down Thursday night football. Let's bring the guys back on. Because Zeno, incredible breakdowns from Coach Phil, who coached many years in the NFL. And if people are really paying attention and props and all of that, it's going to be an interesting which guy, Puka, Devontae, all that kind of stuff. So we'll start with the game itself, because right now that 8.5 has been a point of contention for a lot of people.
Yeah, let's just back up and quote my cousin Vinny and Joe Pesci. Everything that guy just said is bull spit, okay? After he put that Red Sox hat on. I just want to point right? When he's talking to the judge, everything that guy said is BS. Okay.
I love that.
Sorry, Phil. Anyway, look, the number is getting out of control. It's not a number that I'm comfortable playing, especially when you look at the Kyle Shanahan, Sean McVay history. There was a time from 2018 on where the Niners won 6 straight, 9 of 10, until last year when they got swept, when they clearly were not the best version of themselves because everybody was hurt and Purdy was out, and everybody, they just weren't a real team. Mm-hmm. Yes, that's the situation that's here again. But my point is that McVay and Shanahan, the edge goes to Shanahan. He's had his number the entire time. And in an under game, a game that I believe goes under, it's hard for me to lay that number with that gap. I mean, here's another one for you. The Rams have not scored more than 27 against Kyle Shanahan since 2018. So if they're not scoring more than 27, that means, yes, could we limit the Niners here to 17? Absolutely, they could. I think that's a world that exists, but the game stays under, and it's a tight window for me to fit it.
All right. That's a great start. And I think a lot of people look at it the same way that you do. Let's flip it over and we continue on. Let's throw up the running backs up there, producer man. And DJ, I'm going to come to you as we break down this game, but also the use of CMC, as Phil just talked about, and what his numbers look like over at BetMGM. For the 49ers to cover, we know that he has to have a big game. And then several of us love Kyron to be a guy that we kind of back tonight as well.
Yeah, I look at Kyron Williams to be a guy that they lean on with the Rams, because you can throw it to Nakua as much as you want, but him having 50% of the receptions within their team each game is also on the other end of that. So because of that, I think Kyron gets hot, but also either they're going to ride CMC. They might use him to kind of like play off a little bit of what they're doing, because they have so many different guys. They don't know which direction they're going to go with, because they don't have a numero uno. I think they kind of use a CMC as a guy who they kind of play off of a little bit.
And if that's the case, young Peyton, then unders, which is very hard to fade CMC, that might be the play tonight.
Yeah, it definitely is hard to fade him in the rushing yards, but he hasn't really broken out for that big run yet. And I don't like him doing that against the Rams defense. So I'm not touching his rush yards. But if you don't take his receiving yards, you're an idiot. He's had 92, 88, 52, and 73. They're clearly just trying to get him the ball in open space more often any way they can. Got to go over on McCaffrey's receiving yards today.
All right, speaking of receiving, let's flip it over. And if you want to comment on it, Brandon, feel free to. But Puka Nacua, love you. Puka Nacua is absolutely becoming a beast. 13 for 170 last week. They don't beat the Colts if Puka Nacua doesn't go out there and say, throw me the rock every single time that you see me. So now you've got Kendrick Bourne. We just had to find a name on the 49ers side because they have a bunch of guys that don't have a lot of big numbers. Your take here, Brandon.
Yeah, look, Puka Nacua is that guy now where the old adage, right? You can't stop him. You can only hope to contain him. That's Puka Nacua right now, right? And when you look at the other side of the ball with Kendrick Bourne, you're just hoping that they focus so much on Christian McCaffrey, you can get this guy in open space, because Kendrick Bourne's quick enough that if you're running a slant in the middle and you're not paying attention, he's going to take that thing to the house. He's shifty enough to make you miss tackles. They've still got weapons over in San Francisco, which is why I love the plus 8.5.
How high is too high, Zeno, when you're looking at receptions for shut up, get the dog? When you're talking him, he's going to be like 7, 8, 9. Oh, it drives me insane. Zeno, when it comes to Puka, this guy, 13 a week ago, your thoughts on him?
I mean, Stafford's always been good at spreading the ball around, but in the same respect, there was a year with Cooper Kupp where he couldn't stay away from him, right? And it's kind of, what happens in the Sean McVay system is they create opportunities for certain players where they could see mismatches, and Puka continues to create that. I mean, I still would look at Devontae Adams as my red zone guy. I'd still look at Devontae Adams as my guy in short yardage situations. But if you're looking for space and chunks of yards, Puka's the guy that we're going to get the ball to.
What is too high for you, just in general, DG? Is 6.5, 7.5? Because we rarely have seen 8.5. Cooper Kupp was kind of the last guy to do that.
Yeah, you see 6.5 is a little too much, but you're talking about a guy in Puka Nacua. I looked at his stats here. He's got 15 targets over the last 2 games each. Like, he's catching double-digit passes. There are games where he's become the possession receiver for them. And so because of that, I think 7.5 is still a good number. I would honestly just go ahead and go for a plus money play at 10 receptions in this, just to see if I play something on a smaller number.
It does feel that way. The only thing that scares me, and Peyton, I'll let you close this out for 20 seconds, is if they get a big lead. Because I know you like the Rams, that could take their passing back to Kyron Williams on the ground.
Yeah, the numbers Puka puts up are just ridiculous. You don't even have to mention them. It's been nuts. Just take the over on his receiving yards. He gets so many yards after the catch rather than taking his receptions. But Devontae Adams has been in the end zone 3 straight games. Take him to get a touchdown tonight.
All right. Very, very good. Gentlemen, well done. Love the vibe. Love the movement of the show today. And, of course, Coach Phil always bringing a different perspective for all of you that can always help educate and entertain in this crazy sports and sports betting business of ours. Coming up on the other side, is expansion finally in the works? I'll explain. This is Coaching Company Stadium and Bally Sports Live. right, we continue through the break here on our YouTube channel, and this is starting, guys, to become more and more of a thing where a player will retire, then decide, well, I got some more in the tank, and then decide, well, I just don't want to do it anymore. And Xavier Howard of the Dolphins put out a long post on Instagram. He had retired for a year, came back. He's a full-time All-Pro, and then he said, I'm done. My family has to come first. Zeno, we're starting to see this, particularly in the NFL, a lot more than we ever saw it before.
Yeah, I mean, guys are choosing long-term health and their body and their ability to enjoy their family life than playing for an extra 3 or 4 years because it's now the risk reward isn't worth it. Look, these guys have made so much money comparatively speaking to what the guys before them who had to play 15 to 18 years to make
Mhm.
something that sustained them for the rest of their life. These guys, one payday gets them sustained for the rest of their life and the life of their children. So they can afford to walk away. They're smarter to do it. They know the risks of CTE and the body damage that they're going to incur. It's not worth it to them to sustain a life-changing injury at any point in time. So they walk away. It makes sense to them.
And that is where all this research, DG, is starting to pay off because you're hearing it. My good buddy Chris Nowinski, who is the main one that does the CTE, he shouts it from the rooftops all the time. Listen to your body.
Yeah, you have to listen to your body. And I don't think people understand how hard it is, especially after like the first 4 or 5 years, how hard it is to really get out there and go through spring training and training camp and going through all that just to get your body right, to get on the field. It is tough. I don't care what sport it is. And when you lose the love, and sometimes that's really what it is, that's what's pushing you is your motivation. And that's the love of the game. Sometimes when you lose that, you don't want to push your body through that. And then at that point, you're at a huge risk for injury. And so you have to retire. You have to step away.
We never see it. We never see the video. We never see the work that goes on behind the scenes. But to be a professional athlete in any sport, the amount of pregame, like the month or two before your season start, we never see that. But those are hardcore workouts. And to get your ass up, those are the ones you don't want to go to.
Different, coach. It's the preparation, not the game.
No doubt, because that sucks. We're back live in 5 seconds. All right, I feel a really big winning day today, so we'll lock it in about 5 minutes. But we like to save this part of the show for one topic that may not even be sports betting related. And Zeno, I know you uncovered this one. It's been kind of rumbling for a while that the NCAA is thinking about expanding from the 68 to a 76 team bracket. Is that true?
Yep, with a 12-team opening round play-in tournament that's before the tournament. Look, nobody hates college athletics more than the people who run college athletics. And that's ultimately what this boils down to. You're going to kill the golden goose. I get it. It's billions of dollars. I get it. It's a lot of money. I don't get the idea that you think we need more of this. We do not. You're going to dilute the product. You're going to get less eyeballs on it. And at the end of the day, what you're chasing, you're going to get, but the rest of us are going to suffer.
It is, if it was something to benefit the front end of it with the really big teams, because you guys, most of the time, the Sweet 16 is all one seeds lately, all top seeds, and these lower teams never make it through. And that's essentially what we're doing, putting the CBI with the NCAA tournament. Peyton, let me come right up to you, because this really means nothing, but they're making it a big deal.
Oh, it means something for us here in Fort Worth. That means the TCU Horned Frogs might make it for once while I'm here. We stink. I outshot one of our guards in the practice facility on Monday night. I'm not even going to give out any names here, but hey, you know who you are. I'm glad with you standing, so we can see more Cinderella stories and shit.
He does have a nice jumper, though, Brandon. We've seen it late at night when he beats Sloopy on something. Brandon, your thoughts? Do we need 76 teams and Tuesday and Wednesday nights now instead of 2 play-in games? Let's get 6. Who cares?
Look, do we need it? No. Should they do it? No. But they're billionaires with a chance to make more money, and that's what they're going to do. Whenever there's money on the table and billionaires have a chance to make more money, they're going to make more money. So it wouldn't surprise me you see that. It wouldn't surprise me the college football playoff goes to 16 at some point. You're going to see all sorts of things because college athletics now, college sports are just basically minor league pro teams.
And I would be okay with a bigger football one
No.
Because that gives us more confidence. It's like, oh, hell no. My resident curmudgeon says, no, we're good with 12.
We'll do 2.
You're good with 2?
DCS was perfect. They never got it wrong. Not once.
Oh, hell no.
Oh my God.
DCS never got it wrong.
Ignore the voice in the bottom right. Let me come. Ignore the voice. We don't even hear it right now. All right, DG, your thoughts on the basketball portion of this?
Yeah, I had the same exact conversation with my daughter last night. We left soccer late at night at 9 o'clock, and she says, Dad, can we get some ice cream? And I said, kid, listen, we're trying to get our bodies right. Mainly you, not me. I'm old. But sometimes too much of a good thing is a bad thing. And that's what we look at here with the NCAA. I don't get it. Why do we need to keep adding to it? Most of these teams that are playing in the play-in suck. Like, they just suck overall. Let's not give more light to teams that suck. Let's give teams the more light to teams that are actually good.
By the way, how old is your daughter?
She's about to be 10.
She's about to be, and she's practicing at 9 o'clock at night. What are we doing? That's the story. That's the story. 6 o'clock is practice for a 10-year-old. It's because you're sharing a gym, I'm assuming, with other people. You schedule the 9 o'clock.
Wow. Tell him, Coach. Tell him.
Zeno says, preach. All right, gentlemen. This will continue to be an argued topic as we move along. All right. Now, coming off a 2-5 day, we don't run from it, but it does not make me happy. So that's why I had to bring in my rock stars today, because we need a big day. And by the way, follow Chuck, because there is Europa League action today, Europa Conference League action today. I think there's 32 to 40 games in day soccer. We know he's a cash register. Now, these damn dogs, I'm telling you right now, it's time. I swear to God. Zeno, it's my ex-wife's dog, by the way.
Well,
the one that was barking.
I have a suggestion, but I can't say it out loud.
I'm trying to play in the sandbox. I'm trying to be a good co-parent. All right, it's time to lock it in. All right, 10 seconds or less. 1 or 2 nuggets is all that I need. DG, you're up.
Yeah, let's go Eddie Pinheiro. We're going to go over the 1.5 field goals at -110. This dude has cashed in 3 straight weeks. They're going to be limited and struggle in the red zone. Let's go ahead and kick 2 field goals tonight. And then Jake Tonjes. We don't have anybody else on the field that we trust, but you know what? We trust in Jake. So let's go over 26.5 receiving yards at -110.
Let's go next door, Zeno.
Red Sox first 5 -0.5. It's a value play here with the Red Sox and the Yankees. If they don't hit home runs, the Yankees don't score. No real clue what we're going to get from either of these pitchers today, but I'll take the half run of the first 5 and leave the Yankees bullpen out of any of this mess, even though it doesn't involve them. And then Kyron Williams over 66.5 rushing yards. He's hit 66 in all 4 games, gone over this number in the last 2. Niners have allowed the top back in 2 of their last 3 to go over this number, and their EPA per rush on defense fallen to 16th in the league. Kyron Williams would be a big part of the Rams offense tonight.
Love all of that. Young Peyton, talk to me.
Yu Darvish has finished with 4 or more strikeouts in all 32 of his starts at Wrigley Field. We'll take the over 3.5 to keep that streak alive and the Padres to win. Also, the Rams cover the 8.5 tonight because the 49ers have failed to cover the spread in 13 of their last 14 games against teams with winning records.
Mr. Brandon.
Yeah, we're going to go same game parlay. Padres money line over 7.5. I know these same game parlays are giving somebody a heart attack, but we're going to keep going with them anyway. It's going to be a bullpen game on both sides. You have to trust the better lineup, and that's the Padres. Yankees money line, same thing. You got to trust the better lineup with this game. It's going to be a bullpen game on both sides. And then same game parlay in the football game tonight. Under 45.5, 49ers Rams, and the 49ers plus 8.5. Trust the unders on Thursday Night Football.
Trust the unders. Get in and get out. All right. Our JTS play of the day, Mark, your model is what?
We're going to go with San Francisco 49er Mac Jones to throw at least 109 passing yards. He has done this in both games. He's faced the LA Rams, both games this season where he's played, averaging 281 yards there. And we're going to pair that with Kyron Williams to go over 70 rushing and receiving yards. He's done this in all 3 games he's played against San Francisco, where he's averaging over 109 rushing and receiving yards. Put them both together, you get a plus 106. Just that sports play of the day.
Scan the QR code. Use our code NFL100. You'll get the first month for a single solitary dollar. Put all the tools in your toolbox that you have at your discretion. One other major sports story that I believe will never happen. DG, you've hung out with me at my MMA events and know I'm knee deep in it. Conor McGregor, who hasn't fought in 5 damn years almost, announced that he will fight when the UFC goes to the White House next summer. So it'll be almost 6 years since he fought, or somewhere. Do we believe, DG, that Conor McGregor, when he says it's signed, sealed, and delivered to fight next summer at the White House?
I believe there's a meme out there, Will Ferrell going, I don't believe you. And that's where I'm at, is I don't believe him, and I don't believe that he's going to be fighting, because he is looking for a payday, though, but he might get his bell rung for sure.
He has 1 fight left on his deal. I believe he wants it to be the biggest. And young Peyton, this would be the biggest, and then he'd ride off into the sunset. But he hasn't fought in forever.
Yeah,
Ever.
he hasn't. A lot of us would say in college, we'd say, no balls. Like, you don't have the balls to do it. He's not going to do it. It's not happening. It's not happening.
Zeno, bring us home, big dog.
Yeah. Old men, there are certain things we shouldn't do. Step in the ring is one of them. We saw this one with Mike Tyson. It didn't look good after about 3 minutes, and it's not going to look good for Conor.
Boom. Brandon, you got 5 seconds. You betting this, Brandon? You betting Conor McGregor?
There's no chance.
On that, give me that one shot. Well done, gentlemen. Well done. Do not forget, we got 2 full hours here on Stadium and Bally Sports Live. Top of the hour, it's the Coach and Bro Show. All of the biggest topics when you're talking about sports. Enjoy your day. This is why we love sports, and understand there's only one thing left to do right now. And I believe you all know what that is. You've got your marching orders. Let's take all these tickets straight to the pay window. My entire team, damn it, do I love them all. My man Zeno, DG, Brandon, Young Peyton, Marky Model, Producer Man, and I am simply the coach. Trying to keep this train on said track. We grind for you so we can win with you. It's what we're all about every single day right here. Coach and Company, live on Stadium. Take care.